Welcome back to English Buddy Podcast.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Sam. Today, we're going to help you talk about your travel experiences in English. Whether you're chatting with new friends, sharing stories with colleagues, or posting on social media, knowing how to describe your trips is super useful.
Absolutely. And we're going to do this through a fun story. You'll meet Emma, a young professional who just got back from an amazing vacation. She's at a coffee shop catching up with her friend Marcus.
As we go through the story, pay attention to how Emma describes where she went, what she did, and how she felt. These are the key elements when you talk about travel. Ready?
But before we jump in, if you're enjoying this podcast, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us create more content for you.
All right, let's meet Emma and Marcus.
It's a sunny Saturday morning. Emma walks into her favorite coffee shop and spots her friend Marcus at their usual table.
Emma, you're finally back. How was Thailand?
Oh, Marcus, it was incredible. I can't even tell you how amazing it was. I spent 2 weeks there, and honestly, I didn't want to come home.
Emma sits down with her coffee, her eyes lighting up as she starts to share.
So I started in Bangkok. The city is so busy and colorful. I visited the Grand Palace, which was absolutely stunning. The buildings were covered in gold and these beautiful mosaics.
That sounds gorgeous. What else did you do in Bangkok?
Well, I tried street food every single day. I had pad thai, mango sticky rice, and these amazing spring rolls. The flavors were just wow.
Marcus leans forward, clearly interested.
Were you nervous about the street food? I've heard people sometimes get sick.
Actually, I was at first, but I followed the rule, eat where the locals eat. If you see a busy stall with lots of Thai people, it's usually safe and delicious.
Emma takes a sip of her coffee and continues.
After Bangkok, I took a train to Chiang Mai in the north. That's where things got really special. I stayed at a small guest house run by a local family.
Oh, that must have been a different experience from the city.
Completely different. Chiang Mai is much more relaxed. I took a cooking class where I learned to make green curry from scratch. And I went to an elephant sanctuary, which was probably the highlight of my trip.
An elephant sanctuary? Tell me more about that.
It was ethical tourism. We didn't ride the elephants. We just fed them, bathed them in the river, and learned about their stories. Many of them were rescued from logging or tourism operations. It was emotional, but beautiful.
Emma pulls out her phone to show Marcus some photos.
And look at this sunset. This is from Phuket, where I spent my last few days. I just went snorkeling, relaxed on the beach, and just recharged.
It sounds like you had the perfect balance. City culture, nature experiences, and beach time.
Exactly. That's what I loved about Thailand. You can have so many different experiences in one trip. Plus, everyone was so friendly and welcoming.
I'm jealous. I need to plan my next vacation now.
And that's Emma's story. As you heard, she covered a lot of ground and shared specific details that made her trip come alive.
Now let's look at the language Emma used. We'll break it down into 4 main areas: describing places, talking about activities, expressing feelings, and using past tenses correctly.
First, describing places. Emma used vivid adjectives. Listen to these examples.
The city is so busy and colorful.
It was absolutely stunning.
Chiang Mai is much more relaxed.
Notice she didn't just say Bangkok was good or I like Chiang Mai. She painted a picture with specific words. Here are some useful adjectives for describing places.
For cities, bustling, modern, historic, crowded, vibrant, charming.
For nature, breathtaking, peaceful,
pristine, rugged, lush, scenic.
For overall impression, fascinating, overwhelming, memorable, authentic, touristy, off the beaten path.
Second, talking about activities. Emma used clear, simple, past tense verbs. I visited the Grand Palace. I tried street food. I took a cooking class.
When you're talking about travel, you'll use the simple past a lot. Here are some common travel verbs.
Visited, explored, wandered, discovered, hiked, swam, tasted, tried, stayed, booked, flew, drove.
You can also use phrases like, I went to, I spent time, I got the chance to, I managed to.
Third, expressing feelings about your experience. This is what makes your story interesting. Emma said it was incredible. I didn't want to come home. It was emotional, but beautiful.
Here are some useful expressions.
Positive. It was amazing. I was blown away. I fell in love with. It exceeded my expectations. I had the time of my life.
Mixed feelings. It was challenging but rewarding. I was nervous at first, but it was bittersweet. It was overwhelming in a good way.
Negative, honest is okay. It was disappointing. It didn't live up to the hype. I was frustrated by. It was more touristy than I expected.
Fourth, let's talk about tenses. When you tell a travel story, you'll mostly use past simple, like I went, I saw, I ate.
But you can use past continuous for background information or interrupted actions, like while I was walking through the market, I found this amazing stall.
And you'll also use present perfect when connecting the past to now, like I've been to Thailand twice. I've never seen anything like it.
Here's a quick structure you can follow when telling your travel story.
Where and when? Last summer, I went to...
Main activities. I visited, I tried, I spent time.
Highlight moment. The best part was when...
How you felt. I felt.
Final thought. I'd love to go back, or I recommend it to anyone.
One more thing. Emma used some great conversational phrases that kept the story flowing.
I can't even tell you how amazing it was. That built excitement.
Honestly, I didn't want to come home. That shows genuine feeling.
That's where things got really special. That signals an important part.
It was probably the highlight of my trip. That emphasizes significance.
Now it's time for you to practice. We're going to give you some scenarios, and you can pause the podcast and try speaking your answers out loud.
Ready? Here's the first one.
Scenario 1. Imagine you visited a beach destination. Describe the place in 2 sentences using vivid adjectives.
For example, you might say, the beach was absolutely pristine with crystal clear water. The whole island had a peaceful, laid-back atmosphere.
Pause here and try your own version.
Great. Here's the next one.
Scenario 2. Tell us about 3 activities you did on a trip. Use simple past tense.
An example, I visited ancient temples in the morning. I tried local cuisine at the night market. I took a boat tour around the bay.
Your turn. Pause and speak your 3 activities.
Excellent. Now for something a bit more challenging.
Scenario 3. Describe your favorite moment from a trip and explain how you felt.
Like this. The highlight was watching the sunrise from the mountain peak. I felt so peaceful and grateful to be there. It was one of those moments I'll never forget.
Pause and share your favorite moment.
Last one. This is about giving recommendations.
Scenario 4. Someone asks you, would you recommend that place? Give your answer with a reason.
For example, absolutely. I'd recommend it to anyone who loves nature and culture. Just make sure you spend at least a week there to really experience everything.
Your turn to recommend.
Fantastic work. Remember, the more you practice speaking about your experiences, the more natural it becomes.
We've covered a lot today. Let's quickly recap what we learned about talking about travel experiences.
First, use specific, vivid adjectives to describe places. Don't just say good or nice. Paint a picture with your words.
Second, stick to simple past tense for your main actions. I went, I saw, I ate. Keep it clear and straightforward.
Third, share your feelings. This is what makes your story memorable. Tell people what surprised you, moved you, or challenged you.
And finally, follow a simple structure. Where you went, what you did, your favorite part, and how you felt overall.
Now, here's your homework. And yes, we're giving you homework, but the fun kind.
Think about your last trip, whether it was to another country, another city, or even just a day trip somewhere new. Write down 5 sentences about it using the language we learned today.
And if you were feeling brave, record yourself telling the story for 2 minutes. You don't have to share it with anyone. It's just for you to hear your progress.
Remember, every fluent speaker was once a beginner. Every person who tells great travel stories in English started exactly where you are now.
The difference, they practiced, they tried, they weren't afraid to make mistakes.
So next time someone asks you, how was your trip? Don't just say, it was good. Share the details. Tell them about the moment the sunset took your breath away, or the delicious street food you discovered, or the kind local who helped you when you were lost.
Your experiences are worth sharing, and English is just the tool to help you share them with more people around the world.
Thank you so much for joining us today on English Buddy Podcast.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends who are learning English.
And remember, we're here every week to help you become more confident in English. Keep practicing, keep exploring, and keep sharing your stories.
Until next time, happy traveling and happy learning.
Bye, everyone.
See you next week.